correct, then please raise your hands. All right, got it. So we'll be just asking Professor Gandhi to join in some time once we have slightly more numbers, right? I'm sure people are taking time to join. So in the meanwhile, the basic format of this webinar would be we'll be using the Q&A method for us to ask questions. And I'm sure this session would be fruitful for everyone to attend. And I'm sure आप जितने भी लोग बैठे हैं, अगर अभी तक आपके friends ने ये seminar join नहीं किया है, तो you can request them to quickly scan the code on the screen right now and get them to join. This is going to be a session which will be critically important for all of you who are appearing for CUET in 2024, right? Vineet sir,
Sir,
we're almost ready.
yeah.
So मैम को ज्वाइन कराइए प्लीज.
She is joining, sir. Next 1 to 2 minutes. She is actually
Sure.
joined.
Sure, sir, sure. So just for everyone's important notice, we will be using the Q&A section of Zoom for taking up questions. There will be no separate Telegram link for the same. So in case you have questions, please put them on the Q&A section. Right. Minister, can we ask ma'am to join, please?
Yes, sir. We are on call. Just she joining.
Sure.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, ma'am.
Right.
Are we audible?
Yes, let me just check the audio. There is some problem. Let me just.
Ma'am, you need to just slightly increase the volume of your mic.
Yes. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. Right. Bineet sir?
Sure, sure, sir.
I'll
So,
quickly welcome the kids and then you can introduce ma'am. Sir. Will
sure.
that work?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. A very warm welcome to Professor Gandhi on behalf of Pratham Test Prep. I'm Ankit, so I welcome you for being gracious enough to take this session with us, ma'am, and enlightening our children with the buzzword that is floating around, which is CUET. To all the students and parents who've joined in, I'm sure this will be a beneficial session for all of you to attend, and we'll try and take as many questions as we can with Professor Gandhi. And I'm sure she's going to give her expert opinion and suggestions to all of you with respect to your questions. So welcome, ma'am, and thank you once again for doing this for us and the kids. Bineet sir, over to you.
Sure. So, ma'am, thanks for joining, and I welcome you to this platform of Pratham Test Prep. And ma'am, on behalf of our company, Pratham Test Prep, and all our audience, I extend a heartfelt, warm welcome to you and namaste. And we are also very delighted to learn that today we are going to be the real beneficiaries of your words of wisdom. So thanks for joining in. To all my audience, let me, introduce to you all, our guest for today. So, ma'am is Professor Haneet Gandhi, and she is a professor of mathematics education in the Faculty of Education, that is commonly known as CIE in the University of Delhi. She is also the dean, the admission branch of University of Delhi. And the most important part is that currently, as the dean of admissions, she is handling the entire process of admissions to all the courses in all the colleges and departments of University of Delhi. Regarding ma'am's professional achievement, she has been, a part of various national policy making bodies such as NCERT and NCTE, and is also a co-convener in the Undergraduate Curriculum Revision Committee of University of Delhi. Regarding ma'am's academic achievements, she completed her post-graduation in mathematics from the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, that is IIT Delhi, and master's in education and a doctorate in the area of mathematics education. Professor Gandhi engages in the area of mathematics education, quantitative methods in education research, and assessment for learning by having published over 30 research papers in various national and international journals of high repute. Most of her work is concentrated on understanding and promoting stochastic thinking amongst adults and children. And she has also been credited for 6 books to her credit spanning the areas of assessment for learning, mathematics, pedagogy, and hands-on mathematics. So that's a quite big achievement, ma'am, and thank you so much for joining in. And ma'am is truly a academic leader, a scholar, and a face of the university education in India. So, ma'am, we welcome you all, and once again, a welcome to this platform of Pratham Test Prep.
Ma'am, so you want to start off with some kind words that you want to share with our audience right now, ma'am?
So thank you so much for inviting me to this platform. And am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, and I welcome the participants, their parents who have taken out time to join in this online session. This session will primarily, I'll try to give you, as much information as I can with respect to admissions in University of Delhi in the undergraduate courses. Any questions that you have, you're welcome to ask. But before we begin, I'll just take 5 minutes to take you to a little walkthrough to our admission process in the University of Delhi. So the University of Delhi for the past 2 years is admitting students only through the Common University Entrance Test, which is CUET, which is currently, the registrations are currently on. We have 68 colleges and we admit students to approximately 79 courses or programs, as you may like to call it. And these 79 programs are run in these 68 colleges. One of our program, which is BA program, further has 184 combinations. So it's a complex system, of course, and there is only one platform for admission to all these courses and all these colleges of University of Delhi. We have already published our bulletin of information. The admission website is admission.uod.ac.in. If there is time, I will even take you to a little walkthrough on our website. So आप सबसे गुजारिश है कि आप इस वेबसाइट को जरूर देखें, admission.uod, which is acronym for University of Delhi.ac.in. You will find all the information that I'm going to discuss today or whatever, and maybe even more to this from the admission website. The admission website itself is a vibrant source for everything related to admissions. It has information in the form of a bulletin. It has information in the form of infographics. It even has videos in the sense a tutorial to tell you how you should select what are the eligibility criteria, so on and so forth, and also everything about CUET. Apart from this, I think there are some common questions that I always get with respect to admissions, is that what is the eligibility criteria of various courses? As you know, in CUET, they have around 63 subjects. They've added 2 very recently, yesterday only. So they have some languages and they have some domain specific subject and a general test. If I'm not Wrong. They have now 29 domain-specific subjects, 1 general test, and rest of them are languages. For admission to University of Delhi, for most of the courses, we expect students to appear in the language. In fact, you must appear in the language that you've taken in class 12th. You must appear in the subjects that you've taken in class 12th. And we recommend taking the the general test as well. So for most of our courses, what we do, we take the best 4 as we were doing earlier. We'll take 1 language and 3 best marks of whatever subjects that you appeared in CUET. CUET में आप 6 subjects choose कर सकते हैं, including general test. So for admission to University of Delhi, we recommend that आप जो आपने subject class 12th में पढ़े 5 subject उसमें और जो language आपने पढ़ी उसमें जरूर दे, because we are going to consider only those subjects in which you have studied in class 12, only marks of those subjects in CUET which you've studied in class 12. It means there is a subject mapping. You will have to map these subjects. The subjects those which do not map, we are not going to consider. And we recommend taking the general test because for most of our BA programs, general test is also an option to calculate your best 3 marks. So this is a little kind, I think most of the information you must always be, most of your students would be aware of with respect to CUET. Any specific questions that you have, we'll be happy to take it. So the takeaways that I recommend highly is that CUET आप उन्हीं subject में जिन्हें आपने class 12th दिया है. General test we recommend if you have a scope to take that as a 6th subject in CUET because it opened doors to many of our BA programs. Later, once you give your CUET, later we will open our platform which is called the Common Seat Allocation System, which is called acronym as CSAS, which will open somewhere around when your CUET exams would have held. We will open a platform. There you will give the preferences for your courses and colleges. Oh yes, now that we are here, a lot of parents and students are writing mails to us asking us कि CUET के प्लेटफॉर्म पे उनको कॉलेजेस नहीं दिख रहे हैं, वो अभी नहीं दिखेंगे, अभी आप सिर्फ दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी और उसका प्रोग्राम ले लीजिए. That we will take later in our CSAS platform. So this is what I think I have to tell you with respect to University of Delhi. Select your courses judiciously and well. Take all the options which you've given in class 12. We are going to pull up best 4. And it's a very simple platform. Our CSAS platform is also a very simple, a very student-friendly platform, which, the tutorials of those of last year is already there on our website. This year, once we launch it, we'll also launch the tutorial for CSAS as well. And my wishes to all the students who must be giving their boards. If you through your boards, enjoy your time, appear for CUET, prepare well. The syllabus is already there on the CUET website. If you're in the process of giving 1 or 2 papers or whatever is left over, my good wishes to all the parents and the students who are in the process of giving the boards. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words of encouragement to the kids who are preparing for the boards currently. They just had the economics exam yesterday, so I'm sure the kids have done well. So, ma'am, should we straight away dive deep into the questions that have already started coming up?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm good to go.
Right, ma'am. So I'll ask the first question from Yogit Khandelwal. He says, I have filled and submitted the CUET form under the PWD category in less than 40% category. Someone currently studying in DU told me that according to less percentage being shown, my application will be cancelled by DU. Is it possible or is it just fake?
So as per, this is not just the CUET guidelines or Delhi University guidelines, these are Government of India guidelines that to avail the benefit of PWD, your certificate should either be issued by UDID, which is through the Ministry of Empowerment. Either you should have that or you should have a certificate issued from a government medical college. These are the 2 criteria. One of these you should have. Secondly, of course, as pointed out, the level of disability should be above 40%. Having said that, if you've submitted a wrong certificate, doesn't matter, you will in any case be considered in the UR category. The unreserved category comprises students from all the categories, irrespective of whichever category you have. This is by the Constitution of India. Secondly, If in case, now let me add another thing here, that if in case your certificate currently, for example, I'm sure a lot of OBC candidate will have this question, or candidates applying for EWS. Currently, currently in the UGC, currently in the CUET, they are asking for a certificate issued by January. However, in our bulletin of information, we have requested the candidates to submit the certificate issued after 31st of March 2024, which means for this current financial year, which is currently going on. So when we open our CSAS portal, you would be required to submit your updated income certificate, which means in the OBC certificate, the income is mentioned. In the EWS certificate, so you'll have to renew your certificate after 31st of March, which means somewhere around after 1st of April. Get that done as soon as the portal opens, the government portal is open for the same. And when you will submit our form, Delhi University form, you should have an updated OBC NCL certificate, EWS certificate, and if required, as you just pointed out, your PWD certificate also. If the eligibility is less than 40%, we are not going to shortlist you for PWD. You will not get the seat in PWD category, or you'll get rejected.
Right.
Great.
Great.
Ma'am, one question I would like to ask on behalf of the audience. So there is actually a buzz amongst the students that if I am from science background, for example, if I have physics, chemistry, maths, economics, and English, and 2 years down the line, I realized that okay, I want to switch my stream to humanities. I want to pursue my graduation in humanities. So is there any am I at a disadvantage if I'm from science background, or if anybody is from humanity background, is he or she having any specific advantage over me?
Okay, no. So let me clarify this. See, अभी आप अपना जो CUET के एग्जाम देंगे, जो भी सब्जेक्ट्स आपने क्लास 12 में पढ़े वही देंगे. For example, like the example that you pointed out, if you're a science student and you wish to move to a humanities subject later on for your graduation, you can do that. You're most welcome to do that. But what we will do is we'll consider your marks for sciences only. So let me give you an example. Suppose it's me and you. I have taken sciences and I took class 12th, I had physics, chemistry, mathematics. But whereas you had history, political science, economics in your class 12th, you give your CUET in economics, history, and political science, whereas I give it in my science subjects. When we will pick marks for, and both of us will give history honors. Suppose both of us want to do history honors, both of us will opt for history honors. For my calculating my best score, my marks for English and physics, chemistry, and mathematics will be counted. For you, history, political science, and economics will be counted. So there is no disadvantage. Whosoever gets a better score in this combination will get history honors, provided our preferences are same and everything else is same. Then whosoever has got a better preference will get it.
Okay. And ma'am, one more, just follow-up question to this, because many students.
Let me just conclude, there is no disadvantage on changing the stream. However, a humanities student will not probably be able to come to sciences because the eligibility is as, let's say, physics, chemistry, and maths. So most of our science courses, physics honors as physics, chemistry, and mathematics. But the other way around, as usually it is done, for our humanities, it will be best for whatever subjects that you.
But why, can I ask you this? Why this? Because I was a commerce student from DU, and I always felt that the science kid had that edge over the commerce and humanities kids.
Not really. This is not an edge. This is actually just the requirement or the eligibility for pursuing a particular course. If you want to do physics honors, we feel that you should have done physics in your class 12 so that you can appear in CUET also in physics. So this is the requirement. We feel that at least.
So where I'm coming from is, ma'am, the seats in DU are only handful for each course, right? So as a commerce student, I would want to be preferred for a commerce course vis-a-vis a science student, right? And similarly for a humanities program, a humanities course student should get a preference. When we say a science student is allowed to apply for political science honors, and humanities kids is not allowed to apply for a physics honors, I'm just sorry, I'm just sharing my feedback.
Yeah, so let me tell you, there is a provision. It's not that we have closed all the provisions. There is a provision of this also, but that will lead you to a program. It will not lead you to an honors. So for example, suppose you want to take an economics and mathematics a BA program, you can do that.
Yeah.
There's no, there is no such kind of a requirement eligibility, but to specifically to an honors course, which is, academically, maybe we need a bit of a science background, a bit of a physics, chemistry background. So that is why we keep this kind of a minimum eligibility. There is a prerequisite, as you may say. Often, many courses where the academic level is a bit hierarchically on the upward movement, we expect that there are prerequisites. This is what I can say. And maybe we'll try to consider it in the forthcoming years.
Maybe for political science, maybe for psychology honors, a compulsory subject a child might want to add in their domains would be psychology.
Again, but why not open it for all the students, as we just said, that even a science student can also take up psychology.
Ma'am, I understand, but the seats are only that many.
Actually, the seats are not as less as you were saying. We do admissions to 85,000 seats. It's not less, it's the largest in the country.
Ma'am,
Highest actually. No other university is even offering half of what we offer.
Ma'am, I am in 100% agreement with you, which is why DU is number one, hands down, in everyone's list who will be applying for CUET. But suddenly with CUET coming in the last 3 years, suddenly the number of applications have just gone through the roof. We see about 15 lakh people applying to CUET, and majority of them want to get into DU, right? Vis-a-vis when it used to be a cutoff system, the number of applications used to be much lower in number, right?
Well, no, that's really not true also. The numbers I've been dean admissions for the past now almost 4 years. I've seen the merit-based system. I'm seeing the CUET-based system also. There has been no drop in the numbers. Earlier, the number of applicants who applied earlier, yes, since the seats are limited, so let's say around 3 lakh students applied earlier. Yes, there was a dip when the CUET was introduced, but last year we had, come to a balance amount with respect to the number of applicants. और सीट तो somewhere around 72,000 है, तो उन्हीं बच्चों को मिलेगा, merit में भी मिलेगा या CUET में भी मिलेगा. So,
ma'am, so I'll put you into
statistically, the data hasn't changed.
I'll put you in a tough spot, ma'am. You've been dean admissions for 4 years. Which of the two did you prefer?
I'll definitely prefer the CUET, because when we were doing on the merit-based system, there was no equating factor. Now that we see, and also, students didn't know. They used to just get the score, and by whatever, the parents used to build up a pressure or whatever, they often opted for a course which they didn't want to, but they were holding to that percentage, so they took it. They were high percentages, so they took it. Now in the preference order, the students who actually want to take up a course are getting that into that course. So the preference order of every student is so unique. Till now, in this huge data that we've been handling, I have never come across a person who's got same preference list. I mean, if people are sitting together, maybe twins or something, even then, I realized that there is also, the system is so transparent and it is so user-friendly. So what we do is, as I told you, the CUET marks we calculate for the student, because a lot of the data is fetched from the CUET itself. For example, your name, date of birth, gender, everything is fetched through the CUET portal, auto-integrated. So similarly are the marks. Once we have your roll number, we know your marks as well. You don't have to calculate anything. We calculate the marks for you. We tell you where you're eligible. We give you the entire list of your eligibility and your scores. We also tell you where you could probably get a seat. Then we open the portal to again redo the preferences if you wish to. It's such a democratic platform. So you well in advance know what you're going for. So the dropout rate has reduced tremendously. So these are the things that I've seen over there. And plus, you don't have to no physically coming to University of Delhi. It's like taking admission like in a foreign university. You don't submit your papers, right? You just submit your papers online. Once you have a confirmed admission, then you... So once your admission is confirmed, then you go to that city and, pay your fees. Exactly, we follow the same thing. Wherever you are in the country, you submit your application, you submit your documents. If everything is fine, you will get an admission, and then you come to Delhi when the classes are about to begin.
Sure. Ma'am, one question. You mentioned that there are 85,000 seats, in this university, right, ma'am? So that includes only UG, or it's UG plus PG?
So this is, we have approximately 72,000 sanctioned seats. We also have lot of supernumerary seats, for example, ECA, sports, PM-SSS quota, Sikkim. Counting, I'm only talking about undergraduate because this platform is only for undergraduate. For postgraduate, we have 13,000 seats. So 72,000 seats only in these colleges and programs. Plus adding to supernumerary, this reaches to somewhere around 80,000.
80,000.
Right.
Right.
Chaliye, ma'am, I'm understanding that you would be privy to certain things that will happen in 2025 as well, because there are reports floating in the market that next year the CUET will be happening twice in a year. So parent here would want to know, okay, is it going to be implemented next year? And if it is going to be, tentatively, which month are we expecting the CUET to happen? The first attempt of CUET to happen?
I'm not sure of that. Currently, we're holding out for 24. I think that's the decision which is beyond University of Delhi. So I don't know whether there'll be 2 CUETs or not. I won't be able to answer that right now.
So, okay.
It's right now we're worried about the admissions.
Yes.
In any case,
Ma'am,
election.
we have parents and students of kids who are worried that they have just got into 12th and CUT is going to happen twice in a year. So there is already a change expected for them in the coming 12th. So
Well,
that's why the question.
Even if it is 2 times, it's not compulsory to, even if it is 2, it will be 2 for 2 times. I'm sure it's not going to be compulsory. It's by choice. You can appear once. If you want your post marks to be improved, it will be 2 times. But as I said, I'm not the person who can answer
Correct.
regarding that, because that is the decision of probably NTA. We are only at the receiving end of CUET scores.
Ma'am, one more question. We get puzzled by this question. I mean, so many students that they have asked this question. For instance, a student comes to me and he asks that I want to do B Honors Economics from Delhi University. Mathematics as a domain is a mandatory criteria for that, right? For B Honors Economics. Then I said, you don't have mathematics in class 11th and 12th, so you won't be able to take admission to B Honors Economics. And then he answers that, sir, although I don't have mathematics in class 12th, but I'm appearing in mathematics subject from NIOS. Now, will that suffice? Can I take admission to B Honors Economics if I am writing mathematics as a subject through NIOS?
So let me explain this very clearly. There are 2 eligibility criteria. One is a minimum eligibility, for which we want you to pass from your 5 subjects from a single recognized board. Additionally, so that completes your minimum eligibility. If you want to appear for any additional subject from any other board, those marks will be counted as you just pointed out. So if the student has cleared, let's say, X board through major subjects, that's fine. If you want to give mathematics from NIOS or any other board, we will take that into your program specific eligibility. You will have to upload the mark sheet of both the recognized board. Both the boards have to be recognized. You'll have to add the mark sheet of both the recognized boards to become eligible.
Okay. So
Right.
that really means the student is eligible if he's writing that.
Ma'am, I'll take a big question that has been shared by Abhivandan Vij. I think it's a parent. Good evening, ma'am. I have 4 to 5 questions. Question number 1, give details about cultural quota.
Okay.
Second, okay, ma'am, you can take the first one. Yeah.
I'll take one where lest I forget, I don't have a paper in front of me right now. So this is, I think they're talking about the extracurricular activities where we offer approximately admission. This is a supernumerary quota offered in most of the colleges, but some of the colleges do not. Most of the colleges and in most of the programs, ECA is offered. Till last year, we had 14 categories. Maybe we will continue with the same category. We may add or we may drop, which eventually in the month of May, when we launch our CSAS, then there'll be more information related to it. For past 5 years, we've been offering 14 categories. The information is already there on the website. So you need to look at those categories. Then you will have to get certificates. We expect you to have certificates of at least past 4 years. There are various levels of participation which have marks. So on the basis of your marks, there'll be certain criteria. Then there'll be a trial also. You'll have to come to Delhi for those trials. And what we do in our ECA category, we take 75% of the marks that you got from your certificate and from the trials. 25% of the marks are added from your CUET score. So this combined score will make another kind of a set of score, which is like called the combined ECA merit. Based on that merit, these seats are offered.
Right. Ma'am, just to add, just a follow-up, will there be a common trial or will there be trials individually for each college?
So the trials are for with respect to each cultural activity that you choose.
And there'll
For
be
each
one
culture.
trial and not college-wise.
No, there are no there are centralized trials.
Oh.
Trials are centralized.
Ma'am, one question that, one of the parent is asking this question that my kid is from ISC board. And there is a high possibility that, the board results would be out by the month of July or August. But, the CSAS phase 1 and phase 2, CSAS phase 1 starts in the month of May, CSAS phase 2 starts in the month of July. And what if by that time I do not get the mark sheet of my board results? How do I apply for Delhi University then?
So you will get your mark sheet by that time, definitely. But in any case, the CSAS portal remains open for almost a month. And usually, because we have to work on the minimum eligibility, usually, see, I think by June, we will open our platform. Our platform will remain open after the CUET results are announced. So tentatively, currently, NTA has announced 30th of June as the tentative date of declaration of results. Post that also, our platform would be open. So by July, you will definitely have your certificate, I'm sure.
And suppose, ma'am, I have the provisional mark sheet for class 12th. Will that be considered by Delhi University?
So usually what we do, another technical provisions that we have done, we take the mark sheets directly from the DigiLocker. Most of the boards, as soon as the results are out, they kind of upload it on their DigiLocker, and it's a very immediate process. Within a day, it gets uploaded, and both CBSE and many of the boards have now started uploading their mark sheets on the DigiLocker. So the minute if you're, we can fetch your data from the DigiLocker also, provided you've given the correct information. So the provisional mark sheet, you may upload the provisional mark sheet, but by the time you're getting the provisional mark sheet, I'm sure the board will also integrate the same results on the DigiLocker. And our team looks at DigiLocker. Whatever is uploaded on the DigiLocker, we try to look at that if the information is available there. So even if you upload it, we are going to consider the information that is fetched directly from the DigiLocker.
Okay. Ma'am, one more question regarding this marks correction only. So last year, we encountered one situation wherein a student wrote board examination and he had mathematics as a subject in class 12th, but unfortunately he failed in mathematics. He could not pass in maths, and he wanted to apply for like BMS course in Delhi University and economics honors course in Delhi University, but unfortunately, since he has not passed in mathematics, he might not be in a situation to take admissions. But he appeared in the supplementary examination and he passed mathematics. In that case, what can happen, ma'am? Will he be eligible?
So apart from whatever provisions that we have made, one, of course, since he will not be able to opt for economics honors, he will become ineligible. It will not even be, he will not even be able to accept this eligibility. He will not be able to accept this course. He will be out because he has a supplementary in mathematics. He's not passed. You have to be passed in that subject as per the eligibility criteria. But then we do not, put this advantage on this candidate on a complete disadvantage. We also have provisions like mid-entry and spot admissions where we reopen the portal. There is also a provision where, if your results have changed, then you can come through mid-entry, you make the corrections on your platform, but then by that time our 2 or 3 lists are out. You can come back, register again, and then put in your correct marks. So it's not that you're obviously, we can't compete you with the students who have passed class 12. There is some bit of a disadvantage because some seats would have already got filled, but it's not a complete disadvantage. There is another second chance being given to you. So we open a mid-entry later, and then you can revise your marks and join again.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, so there's a question by Tavisha Sethi. She says she's from IC board and has commerce as a subject, but this option is not given as a subject. So can I choose business studies as an option since the syllabus is same?
Pardon me, but commerce/business studies, if you look at the list of CUET, it says commerce/business studies. So it's very well there.
All right.
Ma'am, one question, and it's actually a question which actually, puts people in a very tough situation. Course versus college.
Uh-huh.
What should be given the preference?
See, that's a very personal choice and liking, and I nobody can answer that actually. Even you can't answer that because everybody has their own preferences. That is why there is a preference list. Some prefer college over a course. Some people would like to retain a course because they have some career goals, irrespective of the college. In any case, almost all our colleges are now A-graded, NAC accredited colleges. Delhi University, every college is at least an A plus college, if not A plus plus. So all the colleges of Delhi University are now, absolutely at par. So this is a very personal choice. Consult people around you, consult people. I'm sure there are a lot of helping videos also. Take a very informed choice while making your preferences, because once you submit your preferences, they will become the criteria of your admission and you will not be able to change the preference list. I mean, there you can do some shuffling and reordering, but by and large, whatever you've submitted will determine the allocations also. So.
Okay. Ma'am, one question was there. I mean, we always tell students that Delhi University being a central university, it's open for all the boards and all the states in India, right? There is no reservation as such for any particular state. But ma'am, one question was there, is there any particular reservation policy for the students who are from Delhi, especially in those colleges which is funded by the Delhi government?
No, sir. Even if the colleges are funded by the Delhi government, our reservations are as per the central reservation rules. There is no domicile criteria for Delhi students. But yes, there is another body which we call NCWEB, or the National Collegiate Women Education Board. Admissions to this board are done only for the women studying in Delhi NCR. There is an aspect of domicile. In fact, only the students who are residing in Delhi NCR can take admission, and also CUET is not mandatory. In that board, you can take admission through class 12th marks as well. In fact, that's the only criteria, not as well, but you can take admission through the merit of class 12th.
Okay. Ma'am, one question was there. I mean, because in the brochure, it's categorically mentioned that you can give up to as a city of choice up to four cities, right, ma'am? So this is something related to NTA, National Testing Agency. That one student was asking that it is also mentioned in the brochure that you have to put in those cities where you have your permanent address or you have your present address, right? Those cities would be taken care of. That those would be considered only. A student says that he has a permanent address of Punjab, but currently he is residing in Ghaziabad at his relative's place to study. So if in case he wants to give center as Ghaziabad, will he be getting that advantage of getting Ghaziabad center?
See, this is again, this is on the NTA. They have an auto-generated selection process also once they are giving the seat, once they're giving the city preferences. So usually they fetch the data from your permanent address. Wherever you are permanently, you've given your address. Basically, you have to decide where you would be at the time when the CUET exam would be held. It's very difficult to change your center. So if you think you will be in and around Ghaziabad, you choose your centers accordingly. This center would also, looking at the region where you are residing, they will give you these 4 options near about cities where you're residing, where you give your permanent address. So that's the idea, that wherever you are, it's not that you're staying in one state and further then you want to make a wish that you want to go to the extreme corner of the other state and give your entrance test, because cities will not change wherever you give. That's the idea of fetching the data for permanent and wherever you're residing.
Ma'am, one question is there from Medhavi Gupta. She asks that if two students have same marks for a particular course in CUET, how do you decide the student's admission?
As I said, we are not giving admissions based on only the marks obtained in one subject. It's a combination of subjects. Even if 2 students have same marks in one subject, they may differ in the other subject. Suppose, they are same in the other subject. In any case, till now we were taking the normalized score, which was running to 7 decimal places, where it was, there was, in the most unlikely situation, there wasn't any such situation where we had to use this. Nevertheless, we've mentioned a tie-breaking process in our bulletin of information. In case now, when the CUET is going to, when the NT is going to give us the results, suppose it is in the terms of raw score, and we need to break the tie, and suppose two people have the same preference list, same best 4 score, which we are going to talk about, then we are going to use their information related to their class 12th marks to break the ties. And all this is mentioned in the bulletin. We will use best 5, best 4, best 3, best 3, and then age. These are the criteria auto-generated into our portal. So, the prime thing that you must be, everything depends upon the information that you provide us. So be very careful on the information that you provide to us, because that's going to, will determine your eligibility, will determine your allocation. Your preferences will allocate a seat to you. The marks that you set in will determine the tie breaking. Any wrong information that will lead to a wrong allocation will take you out of the list. You will be rejected, and you may or may not enter the system again. So please be most of the information in any case is auto-fetched from the CUET portal. But the rest of the information, or any, अभी भी अगर आप CUET का फॉर्म भी भर रहे हैं, information हमेशा करेक्ट दीजिए और बहुत ध्यान से अपना फॉर्म भरिए. कोई जल्दी नहीं है. नाम चेक कर लीजिए, डेट ऑफ बर्थ चेक कर लीजिए, पेरेंट्स. Often we get this, request also of changing their information that they've submitted on the website of CUET or wherever. We will not be able to entertain such request. Even let's say for even in my name, HANIT, if I've written it, it will go forward to all the universities. CUET में आपने गलती कर दी, वो सभी यूनिवर्सिटी का वही डेटा चला जाएगा. तो आप इन्फॉर्मेशन बहुत ध्यान से दिए, प्रिंट आउट निकालिए, देखिए, दोबारा पढ़िए, सबमिट तब करिए जब बिल्कुल ठीक है.
So there was this course that Delhi University started under Faculty of Law, which was the 5-year integrated program in law, which was started last year, and it took the CLAT score. So are we expecting that to move into CUET, or is it going to still be with CLAT?
No, we continue with CLAT, and this also we published on the website. We haven't yet launched the registration portal for this 5-year integrated course. But yes, we have put on the website that the admission will be through CLAT score. Very soon we are going to launch that platform.
Right.
Ma'am, one typical question coming that, election dates are already out. Do we expect the CUET dates to get delayed because of the election dates?
I think NTA has already announced, it was in the dailies today, that there are very unlikely chances that they will have to revise the dates. They've made that statement. So I don't have.
So currently, so apart from CUET, there are certain other exams that are also happening. Some like an IIM Indore or an IIM Rohtak's integrated program, and some private universities also have their exam during the same time frame that CUET has announced, which is 15th May to 31st of May. Now, we know of at least 2 to 3 dates where CUET is clashing with the other exam. Now, in the worst case scenario where a student has a clash, what is the route that a child has to take to get out of it?
In case of this unlikely chance, please write a mail immediately to NTA. NTA has given their email IDs, and as far as I know, they are very prompt in responding also. You must flash your concern to NTA immediately.
Ma'am, one question. I mean, the student asks this question very often to us. I mean, sir, what is the difference between honors program and pass course? So what's the difference between BA honors and BA pass course from academic
program?
Okay. So, the details of this, I won't be able to tell you much details because we're very short of time. First of all, you must understand that there is, all our undergraduate programs have been revised under the undergraduate curriculum framework, which is the UGCF, which is aligned to the national education policy. The entire details that you're asking me are on the website of University of Delhi. If you just type UGCF, you will get to know. In the honor, so these programs have discipline specific, core specific subjects. Then we have general electives, AEC ability. Then we have skill enhancement courses, and we also have value addition courses. So these are the baskets in which the subjects are offered. In the honors courses, the discipline specific courses are more. In the program courses, you can take a major and a minor depending on the number of credits that you earn, because in a program, you are given a combination of 2 subjects. And yes, and then we have 3 subjects also, which the National Education Policy talks about. So basically, it's a matter of how many credits you earn in a discipline. That's the basic difference. However, the program students also, if they wish to take an honors degree, if they complete 4 years of BA program, then also they get a BA honors degree in one major subject that they take up, depending upon the number of credits that they've earned in that discipline. So this is like that big difference between both. For fine understanding, I recommend you read this document, which is called the UGCF document. It's just a 20-page document. It has a lot of flowcharts also to tell you how the credits are calculated to understand it better.
Okay.
Right, ma'am. There's a question with Shrishti. She says, ma'am, can I take physical education as a domain for BBA FIA? My other domains are math, eco, accounts, and BST.
Sorry, come again. You want to take physical education
as a domain subject for applying to this course called BBA FIA?
BBA FIA.
Right.
So for BBA FIA, give me a minute. Let me check the eligibility. I don't have it as a quick. Just check the bulletin of information. We've divided the subjects into list B1 and B2. For BBA, I think we need language, mathematics, and general test. I'll have to recheck. Either you give me a minute, I look at the website and check. There's 79.
To the best of our knowledge, I don't think so. Physical education would be counted as a domain subject for BBA FIA.
I'll have to check the eligibility
because it's essentially English, math, and GT.
So it won't be counted. You've answered. Thank you. It won't be counted.
Ma'am, one question. I mean, that's a very, very important question. I want your insight on that. Ma'am, when it comes to CSAS 2 portal, CSAS phase 2 portal, right, ma'am? So then we have 4 steps in CSAT 2. First is subject mapping, as you mentioned, that not to put any, incorrect data, because that gets to all the universities through CUET. The first is subject mapping. Second is, ma'am, if I'm not mistaken, it's eligibility criteria. The third part of that CSAS phase 2 is preference selection, college preference selection. And the last part is preference preview. Subject mapping, as you said, DU has made it very, very simple. You have to just map the subjects. Second is eligibility criteria. You fetch the marks and basic details from CUET itself. The third portion, wherein everybody faces a lot of problem, how to rank the colleges according to the courses. And as you rightly mentioned, ma'am, it's a very individual choice, right? But still, I want your insights, ma'am. Do we have any resource? Do we have any kind of support? Do we have any kind of guidance from Delhi University, which actually guides us that how to fill the preference selection of the colleges and courses?
See, I could give you some key aspects that you must keep in mind. We can't make a preference list for you. We shouldn't be doing it. As I said, it's a very personal choice. Some of the things that you must, you have time. अभी आपके पास समय है. अभी हम मार्च में है और शायद ये पोर्टल जून में जाके लॉन्च होगा. तो अभी आपके पास 3 महीने हैं. आप अपनी एक्सरसाइज कर लीजिए. आपके पास पुराना CSAS के वीडियोस भी हैं और आपके पास लिस्ट ऑफ कॉलेजेस, लिस्ट ऑफ कोर्सेज, बुलेटिन ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन अभी आपके पास उपलब्ध है. So you have all this information with you. Couple of things that I would recommend while making your preference list is understand what you want to do carefully, where you want to go. If you would like, in any case, now we have a lot of systems on our GPS and all that, where you can locate a college also. You can actually visualize the college. You can go to the college website, see the resources, take a visual tour of the college also. Some of the colleges have done that as well. Look at the fees, which is a main criteria. Look at if they have hostel facilities, if you want one. because hostel is also it's a very limited facility. We may not be able to offer you. Look at that. Look at the policies of the college. Look at the alumni of the college. Look at the alumni of the courses that you wish to take up. Take all this into consideration. Sit with people whom you know who can help you, and keep making your preference list. It's a long list. Sometimes if you're eligible, let's say a science student who is eligible for all the courses may get an option around 1,534. So, making this list of 1,534 college plus program combinations is a tough task. We understand that. So to make an informed decision, please start working on it. Some of the courses which you do not want to take it, don't opt for them. If you think you just don't want to take it, ये तो मैं बिल्कुल ही नहीं करूँगा, तो उसको आप मत करिए, because अगर उसमें भी आपका admission हो गया तो आपको लेना ही पड़ेगा. There's no other option. So these are just some takeaways that I can give you, but as I said, it's a very, very personalized exercise. Some people really want to go for only one course wherever they get it. Some people are very headbound to a college and they would like to take any course in that college. So be it, each
Right.
to its own.
Ma'am, it's a peculiar question that has come now. I'm a humanities student. Can I do BSc in psychology? Do we have a BSc in psychology?
We don't have a BSc in psychology. We have BA psychology, so you can take BA psychology.
Okay. Ma'am, one question that, if I'm a foreign national student, am I required to appear for CUET?
So if you're not a citizen of India, then you're not required to do CUET. We have another portal where you have to register. It's called fsr.du.ac.in. That's a foreign student registry. They are going to soon launch their portal. You have to put all your information there. And that's on your basis of your higher class 12th marks and eligibilities. For that, you don't have to do CUET.
So that is merit-based. Whatever I have scored in class 12, that will be considered, right, ma'am?
Sorry?
Whatever I have studied, scored in class 12, that will be considered.
Subject to meeting the eligibilities.
Okay.
So Manasvi ma'am has asked you a question. Because of the limit of 6 subject selections, I had to cut off one subject of mine. I have PCBM with psychology as my subjects, but with general test, I had to cut off chemistry. Will it affect my selection in science courses? And is it possible to increase the limit to 7 to 8 subjects?
Well, I can't, this is beyond my scope. 7 to 8 subjects is not under my scope. It is again the NTA that has launched this. They have limited it to 6. Yes, if you have not selected chemistry for the programs in which chemistry is one of the mandatory subjects, you will not be eligible for them. For example, chemistry honors, you will not be eligible for chemistry honors.
Ma'am, one question was there. I mean, what's the difference between Kashmiri migrant and Prime Minister's special scholarship scheme for GNK students? Are these two different?
Well, so there are these two different schemes. Prime Minister's Scholarship Scheme is sent through AICTE. They shortlist the candidates. They have their own criteria of giving scholarship to some of the candidates, and they may be residing in Jammu Kashmir region. The Kashmiri migrants, as the word suggests, these are migrants, and for them there is they do not have any fellowship. They need to have a certificate which is issued by some of the authorities that we've already listed. So that's the main difference between them. This PMSSS is sent through one body and they have a provision of some fellowships with them. So they do not have to pay the fees.
Okay.
You have to look at AICTE website for PMSSS.
Ma'am, there's some very, very peculiar niche kind of questions. I don't know if I should be taking up. I'll take one and maybe we'll probably be able to figure out the drift on that. A student asks, I've given 12th and I have marketing and typography and marketing, which are subjects that they have in 12th, but they're not part of CUET domain subjects. So I'm left with just 3 domain subjects and CUET takes best 4 subjects. So what will be my 4th subject?
You take general test, then you were eligible for many of our BA programs.
Sure.
If it is not there, it's not there. Take general test, and you are in any case will not be eligible for some of our honors courses, but definitely for BA program you will be eligible.
Ma'am, earlier when CUET was, and this is probably off the head that I'm asking you this question. Earlier when CUET was coming in after the cutoff system, there were certain discussions that were happening that post CUET, there could be colleges which could come up with their individual selections as well, or individual criteria as well. Maybe like a personal interview or a group discussion or something of that sort, over and above the CUET score. Now it's 3 years that nothing of that has changed. So is there a clear mandate within DU that nothing over and above CUET scores will be considered?
Absolutely. If there is a nationalized test, the whole idea of CUET was to have one nation, one test. If there is one nation, one test, then we will abide by that. Also, except for the courses where we need some kind of a trial. For example, BA Honours Music, there you need some kind of trials to be done. So, and sports. So there we have an additional criteria, but that's also an additional criteria. The marks get added to your CUET. So CUET remains as the prime factor in terms of admission, and this will always be there because that's objective. That's the most objective thing.
Also,
So
one question, ma'am. Yeah,
can
please.
I request you to, my office is indicating me.
Ma'am, can I ask one last question, ma'am? Just last question. Ma'am, until 2021, Delhi University used to release the official cutoff list for individual colleges and courses, right? But ever since 2022, we are, not in a position to, officially say that what were the cutoff in CUET for this particular combination in this particular college for this particular course. So how any student, gets to know that what score I have to score, what marks I have to score in order to get into this particular college?
So, this is a very, let's understand the entire process. First of all, you do not know. It's a very relative process. It's based on preferences. There is nothing like, so even if you and I, as I stated, even if you and I have same marks, yet your preference sheet is different from my preference sheet. So I will get, even if our marks are same, I may get a course in a college, but since you did not take it as your first choice, you will not get it. So first of all, it's very difficult to release. There is no such term as cutoff. We fill the seats according to the preferences and according to the merit of the students. So as much as, and also since it's such a dynamic system, there is so much of variation in the scores between the subjects also. It's not easy to say that, this is the marks that you do your best, you give your best preferences. And then the system will auto allocate you as per your merit and as per the preferences that you've given. Yes,
So
but
there is,
not,
yeah, so
sorry.
there is no official data from which we can, fetch that source, right?
There's nothing like an official data because the data is so variable, it's so dynamic. Every list, as I told you that, you can reorder your preferences. तो अगर मैंने अभी list निकाली है, next list में आपने ही अपनी preferences change कर दी, है ना? तो फिर उसके बाद मैं कैसे बता पाऊंगी कि आप वो कोर्स चाह ही नहीं रहे थे, तो अभी 700 पे आप थे, आपने प्रेफरेंसेस चेंज कर दी, तो हो सकता है वो 720 पे भी जा सकता है नेक्स्ट लिस्ट में. हाँ, तो 7 कोई कट ऑफ नहीं रहेगी. देयर इज नो मिनिमम. इट मे गो इवन नेक्स्ट लिस्ट. पीपल हैव अगेन रीशफल्ड दिस लिस्ट for a particular course. Let's say the last scorer entered at 700, but everybody changed their preferences in the subsequent list. It may even end at 720 because the list, there were only 2 seats vacant. So a person with 720 may have got marks. So then you will question me कि last list में 700 गया था, इसमें 720 चला गया. वो जाएगा ही जाएगा क्योंकि preferences बच्चों की change हो रही है. 1.5 लाख 2 लाख बच्चा जब अपनी preferences change करेगा same marks पे, तो वो there is a fluctuation in the data.
Yes. So,
Ma'am, I think we'll call it a day here purely because there are about 115 more questions pending, but we are short of time and ma'am had allocated about an hour for us. And thank you so much, ma'am, for your time and your patience in answering queries, very specific queries that students have. I'm sure DU will be doing more such YouTube sessions with you or your team members in times to come where students can ask more questions directly to you. We are more than happy to have been able to get you some queries from our set of audience, and you have been brilliant at answering all of them. So it's a big thank you from all ourselves, and I hope we have a great CUET, and with you at the helm of it, I'm sure we'll do. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time and your patience.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Best of luck to all the students, and we are ready to welcoming our new batch. We are very excited. And good luck for your exams. Do well in your board exams. CUET is very simple. One thing that I know is never heard of in the past 2 years कि paper difficult आया था. CUET test is very simple to do. Just look at their syllabus. The syllabus in any case is much reduced than your class 12th. So go with full confidence, and good luck to everybody who's joined today in this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so
ma'am.
much for your time.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks.